Welcome to the Skoll World Forum 2022. I have a pretty good idea of what we're about to do online any moment now.
What's in a face? Maybe wrinkles spreading a story. Maybe eyelids burdened with baggage.
It's going to propel us as a Skoll community to face the future together with courage, determination, and hope.
I'd like to start by recognizing the loss of two great heroes, Archbishop Desmond Tutu and Dr. Paul Farmer. It's up to all of us to carry on their legacies and support the next generation of leaders who will change the world.
The 2022 awardees you're about to meet exemplify the power of deliberate connection and collaboration, changing the system for the long term.
I created a place where young people, and especially women, work with the governments to co-shape policies and plans to drive real change.
We can't leave this to the next generation. We need to fix it now. And guess what? We know what it takes.
What if we chose regeneration, shared prosperity, and distributed power over extraction, exploitation, and concentrated power?
If we change the way power is deployed collectively by citizens and for citizens, some of the other forms of inequality I saw would probably begin to crumble.
Our belief is that when Indigenous people are properly resourced, it makes a more just and equitable world for all people in Mother Earth.
Over the next 6 years, we will reach 70 million patients and caregivers across 4 countries.
The most transformative force in healthcare is love.
In reality, humanity has entered the most critical decade in its existence.
There's no question the multilateral system is absolutely under strain.
This is the largest displacement since World War II.
We need to be tackling the root of this problem, and we need to wean ourselves off fossil fuels so we're not dependent on Putin, who's in league with one of the most corrupt industries on the planet.
When there's only about 400 million a year philanthropically that goes towards peace and conflict issues, that's not enough.
If we're consistently underfunded, who is getting the money?
We often hear from donors that we don't know how to reach frontline communities. Where are they?
How do we have the power that is necessary to usher in the multiracial democracy that we want? Is to begin to think about, do we have the institutions that can be enduring to do that work?
If anybody should be able to take risks, it's philanthropy.
Mobilizing people in the streets, even when it is millions, it's useless if we lack infrastructures, clear indicators of victories, funding, and long-term strategy. And that is exactly what I'm currently working on building.
What's, as you see it, the health of democracy around the world?
The future of whether democracy can hang on is actually being contested. What we know is that we are stronger together.
Men play a critical role in whether women make progress or not. And I want them to hear this message. You need to get out of the way a little bit so that women can have a chance.
I believe that the new web will only truly begin when we bring this sense of purpose and humanity.
I mean a vaccine against injustice, a vaccine against poverty and inequalities, a vaccine against tensions and conflict. Human rights are that vaccine.
The first thing one has to be willing to do is to listen. And that is a difficult thing to do in a moment where tension is at its highest.
And there are so many people that need to know that we are human and that we have a right to be where we are and right to be who we are.
It's impossible for any society to progress if half of its population is not engaged in its development and its progress.
The territories owned and managed by Indigenous peoples are better preserved with respect to diversity and carbon sequestration potential.
If we still have control over our land and territories, we will prosper.
I think the first priority has to be, whether you're a nonprofit, a philanthropist, a policymaker, to care for the caregivers.
The Ministry of Health really saw the value to digitize training curricula for healthcare workers. So despite all the tragedy
the COVID pandemic also created some opportunities.
The data that is most valuable to me is lived experiences. It's not peer-reviewed published data.
Amen. Don't ever let them hurt you in any way. Or never let them steal and take the best of you.
All of us who are here on this panel are radical optimists. You can't do this work if you're not a radical optimist.
The movement for democracy is winning. It's winning here in the United States, the bravery of the Ukrainian people.
When we can activate the innate artistry in all peoples, this looses the force that leads to change.
If you change the hearts and minds, you connect with them, you change social norms, and you change behavior.
If we don't address it now, I don't know when we are going to address this particular issue.
Rethink your assumptions, rethink the way things are, the way things could be.
If we're able to solve this crisis, it's because we have fundamentally realigned power and dispersed power.
If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, you have to go together.
We all need to listen more, share more, and make room for everyone to find a home in the world.
Every year at the Skoll World Forum, my hope is restored.
More power to all of you.
I leave the session inspired and with a stronger heart than I would say that I started it, and uplifted, and knowing that there are people like you who keep the fight going.
Hold on. Never give up. Never give in.
Face forward, unflinching, facing our challenges together.